Welcome to the Bear Attack podcast.
Welcome.
Our debut episode.
Yeah.
We'll see how long it lasts.
Yeah, we'll see. That's a good question.
I don't know.
I mean, we've been thinking about doing this for a while now.
Yes, we have. For about, I don't know, like 9 months, I've been saying, let's start a podcast.
We'll be talking about something funny.
Yeah.
And like we'll be laughing.
Yeah.
And then at the end of it, it would always end with, we should start a podcast.
We should start a podcast. I think it would be me mostly who would say we should start a podcast, and you'd be like, yeah, sure, like okay, you wouldn't match my enthusiasm, and that's why it took this long to start one.
That's funny. Well, you know what it was? I wanted to get the right gear. You know.
Yeah. Well, once we started, like, am I talking too loud?
No.
Okay. Once we started, so this is my first podcast
That you've ever done.
that I've done a podcast episode,
Oh, that's right.
but I've never hosted a full podcast.
Yeah. On that podcast, you weren't wearing headphones, right?
Mm-mm.
If I remember correctly.
No, that was on the Bear With Us podcast,
Yeah.
and surprisingly, that wasn't co-hosted by me. That was, I guess my husband has other interests. Whatever.
That was pre-marriage.
That was pre-marriage. You were
Yeah.
in the old apartment.
Yeah.
We were not living together. I just want that
Let 'em
clear. We are God-fearing Christians. And Josh was living by himself.
I was.
Himself.
You got it.
I got it.
Yeah.
And his brother Sam co-hosted that podcast with him.
Yeah.
And it was awesome. It was loved by many. And I'm hoping this is loved more by many.
Yeah, I mean, that'd be great.
Yeah, I hope so.
Yeah.
I mean, on that podcast episode that I did, we talked about kind of our love story.
Oh my gosh, yes, we did.
And we did it while eating hot sauce at various hot sauces of varying spicy levels
Right.
with chicken nuggets.
Yes, that's right.
It's pretty awesome.
Yeah, that was fun.
Yeah, that was really good. Also, Sam's wife, Gabby, or no,
At the time.
at the time, his fiance.
I think they were newly affianced.
Ooh, affiance.
Yeah.
Okay,
I nailed it.
you nailed it. Yes, that's true.
Yeah.
And they were talking about their love story, and it was really cool. We'll get to that in another episode, not this one.
Yeah.
If that's what the people want.
Wait, I mean, yeah. I mean, we'll probably end up talking about it anyway, so like they're going to have to hear it. But
Yeah, it's pretty awesome.
yeah. It's a good story.
I mean, yeah, we're kind of biased because it's our story.
Yeah, but I mean, like, that's what makes it so special. You
I know.
Because it's our love story.
Oh. That's true.
It may not be special to other people, but it's special to us.
I don't care if it's not special to other people. They're going to hear it.
That's what I'm saying.
We're the ones with the microphone.
If
They want to tell their story, if they want to tell their story,
girl.
they have to get their own microphones.
Yeah.
Anyway.
I'm over here using words like affianced.
I can't say the word story. Oh, no. I have to be professional all day.
Hey, I don't blame you at all.
I only want to use half my brain when I get home.
I know.
Oh, my God. But also, wait, before we get to that point,
Yeah.
you host a fantasy football podcast
I do.
with your brother every fantasy football season, and it's really awesome.
Yeah, once a week.
Yeah, virtually.
It's specifically for the fantasy football league that we're in together.
Yes.
So it's not like we give like general fantasy football advice.
Mm-hmm.
It's like specifically for the league.
Yeah.
So we only advertise it to the guys in the league. I mean, it's publicly available. People can go listen to it if they want.
What's the name of the podcast?
It's called the Playtime Podcast.
Is it available everywhere you listen to podcasts?
It is, yeah.
There you go.
Yeah.
I think I'm nailing this podcast thing so far.
You're
I was
crushing
a little nervous.
I know. You were a little nervous.
Yeah, it's a lot of pressure to sit here and talk for however long we plan to talk.
Yeah, that is true. I think what you'll notice is that it's once you get into the swing of things, it's actually pretty easy.
Yeah, I think I'm feeling that.
for the most part.
Yeah.
With Bear With Us, it was tough because we would have to like do research on stuff, and that was hard. I
Yeah.
didn't enjoy that as much.
Yeah. Like what? Like what specifically did you have to research?
So like the very first podcast that Sam and I did, it was about the this was back in like the very beginning of the pandemic, like that May or April or something like that. And him and I were doing a podcast episode on the Plandemic video.
Oh my gosh, I
That came out.
remember that.
I don't think anybody can watch it anymore. I think it's gotten taken down.
Oh, intrigue.
Yeah. That was, in my opinion, one of our best podcasts because we did a lot of research, and there was no like, what am I trying to say? Since it was our first episode, we could take as much time as we needed to research it, and then whenever we felt comfortable, then we could start it because it was our first episode. But when you have like succeeding episodes, you have to do the research in a certain amount of time if you're gonna want to release an episode once a week or whatever, which we were trying to do. So
That's a good point. Yeah, that hooked a lot of people in.
it did. I think it's like by far our most listened to episode.
Those are still available for people to listen to, right?
That's right.
After you listen to this one, go listen to that one.
Bear with us, yeah.
And then come back to this one.
Yeah.
Bear Attack.
Yes. This is Bear Attack.
This is Bear Attack.
The other one is Bear With Us.
Yeah. What do we want this podcast to be about? What can people expect from this Bear Attack podcast? Is it a podcast about bear attack incidences in the wood?
I'm sure that'll eventually come up.
Yeah, I'm sure. I think we can do like a little segment on that
Sure.
down the line if that's what the people want.
Yeah.
We're here to serve the people. And hopefully they make it popular enough so we can quit our other jobs. And
maybe that's the goal.
That's always the goal. The goal always for me is to make other things high income enough for me to quit my full-time job.
Yes. Yeah. Right.
I just want to stay home and play with my cats and my bunny.
Yeah. Yeah.
That's all I want to do.
I don't blame you for that. I don't think anybody blames you for
I
that.
don't think anyone should. I think that the pandemic taught us one thing.
Yeah.
It's okay to stay home with your cats and your bunny. Adopt more cats. Bake some bread. And do some podcasts.
That's right. That is so true. The pandemic really did teach people that they can just stay home and do podcasts.
That's what they should do.
Yeah. No, but what do you feel like? Like, what do you want to try to get out of this podcast?
Ooh,
And
get
then
out.
Yeah, and then I'll answer that question too. Yeah.
Okay, good. What do I want to get out of this podcast? I don't know. I just want to provide some lighthearted content because that's what I like to listen to. So I just want to create content that I like to listen to, that I would like to listen to.
Sure.
Because I feel like one of the goals I wanted to do was, or accomplish, was we're a young Christian couple, and a lot of the Christian podcasts out there are very formal, which is fine. That's what they want to do. But I kind of wanted to do something very informal and just kind of talk about our lives and, I don't know, just talk about random things that come up that are unrecorded or recorded.
Yeah, definitely.
Yeah, that's what I wanted to do.
Yeah, I like that. And I think for me, it's a similar goal of mine is like, I don't know, there's something really refreshing about talking with other people, particularly other Christians, and seeing how, them talking about their life and you being like, oh, wow, yeah, I relate to that a lot. And it's actually really like encouraging and
validating.
Yeah, and refreshing. Yeah.
Yeah, we just want this to be like one just giant hangout and fellowship. Except we can't hear from you. But this is getting video recorded. Yeah. So hop on to, I don't know, I guess we're creating a Bear Attack YouTube channel.
I guess so.
And, you can comment what you want us to talk about.
Absolutely.
We highly encourage that.
Yeah.
So, we just want to invite you guys into our home, see us, goof off with each other, and hopefully you get some really funny laughs and topics to talk about amongst your own friends.
Yeah. Yeah, definitely. Yeah.
Yeah.
So anyway, I want to hear more about why you have such a strong desire to find different ways to leave your day job.
Okay, well, first of all, here's what would change the most dramatically if I got to quit my job.
Can I ask you first, what is your job?
Oh no, don't do that. It's so hard to describe to people unless you own a home. And that's very
true.
exclusive of a lot of people. I work in title insurance, and it's when you buy a home, you have the option to purchase title insurance, and the company you use to conduct that search is a company I work for. And they basically find out if there's any ownership obstacles that are in your way before you can fully own your home. So,
And sell your home too, right? It's like
yes.
It's like a vice versa thing.
Yes, if you're selling your home, I'm also more so heavily involved.
Yeah.
By helping you. I don't know. It's so hard to describe what I do specifically. If you have a mortgage on your home, I order that final payoff that it will take to pay off that loan, and that gets paid at the settlement table from the proceeds of your home. So that's and I liaise with the bank to get that. Sometimes it's really hard to work with banks, and so I kind of take that pressure off of you, and and I basically am the middleman between your real estate agent and the title company. So
boom.
Yeah, that's it.
Yeah. Sorry, I didn't mean to cut you off, but I figured it'd be good to give a little background.
No, that's good.
Yeah.
Yeah, that's good. What do you do?
Oh, what do I do?
Yeah.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, it's the worst,
it's hard.
Isn't it?
It is difficult to
It's
explain.
terrible.
That's such a good point. It is kind of annoying
It's horrible.
to have to sit.
But
like,
that's the number one question we all ask each other.
I know.
And it's fine. We're all fine with it. But let's just admit, it's terrible.
I mean, yeah. What am I trying to say? I feel like I used to get really upset at things like this. Like,
Yeah.
I used to get really upset. Like, oh, man, like, I hate when people ask that. Or like, oh, I hate when people talk about this.
Yeah.
But then I started to realize, is there really anything else?
There's nothing else. It's just darkness after that.
You know what I mean?
Yeah, and it's become a pet peeve of mine when people list small talk as something they don't like. They're like, I don't like small talk. I'm like, you and I can't have a conversation.
Nobody likes small
No
talk.
one does. That's a normal thing, but you have to do it. I don't trust you to tell you about the nightmare I had last night.
Yeah. Right. Exactly. Exactly. Yeah. I feel like for me, that's something that I realize is just like, unfortunately, it's just sort of that's part of life. You have to have small talk.
Yeah.
You know, you go to a family reunion and you see people you haven't seen for a long time. Hey, what do you do?
Yeah.
You have to talk about that.
I'm thinking about getting cards made up and just an infograph that just describes what I do.
Yeah.
Handing that out.
A little Rolodex of
A Rolodex of duties.
Yeah. Really good. Yeah.
Weddings.
Mm-hmm.
You know, we were just recently at a wedding, and we were in the main ballroom, and we were right by the speaker, and we were talking to this lovely family that we haven't seen in a while.
Yeah.
And just absolutely screaming at each other our jobs.
Oh my gosh.
It was terrible.
Screaming, like actually screaming.
I thought I really thought I wouldn't have a voice.
I felt so bad because I really thought I was spitting in this person's face.
Yeah.
I definitely was. There's no way I wasn't.
I think there was spit exchange back and
For
forth.
sure. Although I don't remember feeling any spit from them. I think
That's okay.
I was thirsty. So
We're very dehydrated.
okay. Anyway, so what I do for work is, how the heck do I explain this? I work as a incentive compensation consultant. That's what the official title is. And basically what I have to do is I have to help pharmaceutical companies come up with good payment plans for their sales reps.
That's really good.
Boom.
You know how I describe your people? Oh my gosh.
That's
Do you know
okay.
how I describe your job to people?
How?
I just say you're a data analyst. I just leave it at that. It could
That's
mean
funny.
so many things.
That's true. That's
but
true.
You work with numbers.
Yeah.
You're good at the math.
You know what I normally tell people if I don't have time to go into like the detailed explanation?
What do you say?
I'm even more general than that.
Oh gosh.
I just say, "Oh, I'm a consultant."
Oh my gosh, that could mean anything.
That's literally anything.
You could consult them on their fashion.
Right, exactly. Yeah. Data analyst is like, "Oh, okay, that guy sits at a desk and like does stuff."
Consultant, you could be like Will Smith and Hitch, where you consult people on their dating lives.
Isn't that what he said?
I think that's what he calls
He's
himself.
like, "Oh yeah, I'm a consultant."
Like a marketing consultant or something.
Bro.
You should say when people ask you, you should be like, "Have you seen the movie Hitch?"
I'm Hitch.
I'm
yeah.
Hitch. I might make up a job title next time.
That could be fun.
That should be fun.
I guess that's part of how you can make small talk fun is you can lie.
You could lie, or you could just be upfront and say, "Hey, I do this, but what I tell people is I do this." And then that could lead into, "Well, why do you say that job?" And you could be like, "Oh, I love puppies."
That could be fun.
That could be fun. That's a hot social tip for you cool cats and kittens out there. From the most socially awkward person in the world.
You say that, but you're not that socially awkward.
Good.
Yeah.
I'm glad I don't come off that way. I don't really want to.
I totally get thinking that you do like yourself, because I think I come off that way too.
Yeah. I think it's hard not to think as a people, to think of ourselves as not socially awkward.
For sure.
But we're all feeling the same amount of socially awkward as the next person.
I would think so.
It's beautiful.
I'm sure there's some out there who are like, "No, I'm not. I'm very social." I'm sure there are some people like
I think, yeah, definitely. But I feel like even they can get insecure.
Yeah.
'Cause I feel like I've talked to people who I thought were really confident. And I feel like, oh, this has been a little awkward.
Oh, wow. And you're like, "Oh, okay."
So it's a real thing.
Yeah, definitely.
But that's okay.
So anyway, tell me and tell us more about your job and why you have such a strong desire to get out of it.
Yes, the original question.
Yeah, the original question. Yeah.
Well, like I was going to say before, the one thing that would dramatically change if I, quit my job is my commute. It would go from 45 minutes to 0, which would be amazing. It's really rough to drive. And it's not like turnpike 45 minutes where I could just, zone out and just drive straight. It's like back road 45 minutes because that's the only way to the next county over. There's just one good way. So that sucks, and it makes me, that and my poor time management makes me about 15 to 20 minutes late to work every day. So that's pretty stressful. And what else? There's just things that stress me out socially about work. I think I got really good at my job. I started my job in the fall of 2020, and I think I've gained a lot of great experience. I feel confident in my job description. But there are things about a job that they don't tell you are your responsibility socially, and well, at least my job, until I got into it. Let me refer to my notes here.
Oh, yeah. Pull them up.
Also, I work hybrid, so 2 days a week at home.
You're here, yeah.
And 3 days a week I am in the office. So that makes some of this more relevant. Because the first thing I have on here is going to the bathroom. That is not awkward when I work from home.
No, it's not. It's not.
But it is very
for some people. I think it is. I think
terrible.
I was gonna say I think some people feel like married couples feel weird about going to the bathroom in front of each other.
Well, like even even like, because you're usually sitting, right behind this camera here.
Yeah.
And do you think like even that way, like with the bathroom?
Oh, no. I mean, I don't know how you can live together.
You can't.
You know what I mean?
No, you need separate apartments.
Yeah.
Where was I going with this?
Oh, your notes. Go to the bathroom.
Go in the bathroom. Very awkward in a corporate work environment.
Yeah.
We just sorry, I keep clicking my tongue.
That's all right.
We just moved to a new office, and it's really nice. Everything's new and whatever, but the bathroom in our old office, it was just one room, and the whole office was cut. And there were multiple single stall bathrooms throughout the office. So,
oh, wait, really?
yeah, it's like Starbucks, like the bathrooms at Starbucks.
At your new office?
No, at our old office.
Oh, because I was thinking. Okay, gotcha. I don't think I know. I've never seen an office like that.
It was an old office.
Gotcha. That's actually kind of nice.
It was amazing.
That's actually really nice.
It was so good.
That's like here, basically.
I know. That's how I felt. I felt right at home.
Wow.
So, you could do your business in peace.
Right.
And yeah. But at our new office, it's stalls. So there's 3 stalls, 1 handicapped, 2 regular. Is that offensive? 2 non-handicapped.
There we go.
Okay, I felt very self-conscious about that all of a sudden.
Yeah, I don't know if that's offensive.
Standard layout, and
yeah,
it's so awkward that today I had to go to the bathroom.
Yeah,
and I opened the door. Luckily, it's a quiet door open, which can either work for you or against you.
right.
So it's a quiet first door open to the bathroom, and I saw someone's feet
Yeah.
in one of the stalls, and I just backed on out. And I waited another 15 minutes before I tried again.
Funny. Yeah.
I don't like it. I
know.
It's really hard to cope with for me sometimes.
Mm-hmm.
And
I wonder if that's more difficult for girls than it is for guys.
I think that's always been the case. I feel like we've talked about how the dynamic is so different in a girl bathroom versus a boy bathroom. Obviously number ones are like fine, whatever.
Sure.
Sort of. I don't know. I had to go number 1 and
you still felt kind of weird.
and it felt weird. I don't know. I felt very self-conscious, but the number 2s,
Yeah.
they're the worst.
Yeah.
Yeah,
They really are.
I don't want to go too much into that, but for guys, it's so different. You once told me a story about how you were going to the bathroom in a Wawa, and a guy came rushing in,
Yeah.
started pounding on the stall door.
Yeah.
Let me in! I gotta go! And you were in the middle of doing what you're doing.
And it was like I wasn't feeling well. Like I wasn't too far off from where he was. That was the situation.
Oh gosh, that's terrible.
And yeah, and I couldn't I let him I didn't really finish up. I mean, I finished that phase, and then I
You got to a good stopping point.
there we go. Yeah.
And then you could do the little switcheroo, and then he went in there. Did you hear everything?
Oh, I left. Yeah. Oh, I felt very weird.
Yeah, that's a good.
But he was in there for like a good half hour. Yeah.
Yeah, and that's fine. We've all been there. So, but you've definitely been in a bathroom in a normal situation where you've
for sure
you've known what was going on.
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
Yeah, girls, I just do not feel I don't know. Maybe other girls are different, but I do not feel comfortable with that at all. It's the worst. It really stresses me out.
Yeah.
So that's one thing. Office bathrooms.
Yeah.
I think there should have been.
So one reason why you want to quit your job is so that you don't have to go to the bathroom anymore.
Around other people.
Yeah.
Yeah, I'm fine with going to the bathroom. It's totally cool. I'm in and out, but around my coworkers, yeah, it's just too much of a vulnerable experience for that. But
Mhm.
moving on to the rest of the list.
Yeah, move on.
I have a couple items on here.
This is good stuff. Yeah.
Let me move up to. I'm gonna try to do this in order of like, come on, Tori, like that's so stupid. To like, oh, I kind of get that.
Okay.
So I think going to the bathroom, people are like, just get over yourself.
Right.
So
Yeah.
stupid, and that's fine. Talking about my weekend. Now,
Like on Monday when you get in.
well,
Well,
here's
for
the
you, it's
thing.
Tuesday.
I get in on Tuesday because I work remotely on Monday.
Yeah.
So I forget my weekend. I have
Oh my gosh.
I have the worst short-term memory. I can tell you my favorite ride from the first time I went to Disneyland when I was 5 years old, whatever. Actually, I can't really. I liked going to the Minnie Mouse house, though. I remember I was really excited about that.
Yeah.
But I have the worst short-term memory. I don't know what I did this morning. I can't remember what I did yesterday.
I know.
Give me 5 years, then I can tell you. But we don't have that type of time on our hands. Okay? So
Give me
I
5
get it
years.
on Tuesday, and they're like, how was your weekend? And I have to be like, okay, let me tell you in a second. Hold on.
Right.
I have to pull up my Google Calendar.
Really?
Yes.
I've never thought about this. This is a
It's-
really good point, though.
Josh works remotely 100% of the time. Just for context. I don't know if we already mentioned that. I don't think we did.
I don't think we did.
So let me tell you what I did this weekend because I have my Google Calendar in front of me.
You already had to do this once today.
Yeah, it was the worst. I got my eyebrows done. Oh, that's right. I had my family over.
Oh, that's
we
right.
had my family over Saturday. Yeah, see, you forgot.
Yeah,
It's terrible.
that's true.
So that's pretty stressful for me. But I'm just like, oh, how was your weekend? It was good. And then you have to remember a specific detail because they keep staring at you
Mm-hmm.
because they care. And you're like, I had my family over, and once you look at your Google Calendar or whatever. So
Right.
that's pretty stressful for me.
Mm-hmm.
And I don't like it. You don't have to deal with that. Although I feel like I've heard on your morning meetings something like that.
Yeah. If it's like Monday morning, I have a 9 a.m. on Monday mornings. And, yeah, people ask. But the thing is, when you're remote, you can much more easily get away with like, oh, it was good. And that's it. You know what I mean?
No.
Because you're remote and you're in that meeting particularly, we don't like share our camera, share the
Yeah, everyone
camera
has
thing.
their cameras off.
Yeah.
Which I totally get.
Yeah, no. I used to be in meetings where everyone had their camera on. And I remember doing it for a little bit, and then I was like, no, veto. I'm out.
Yeah,
I'm not doing this anymore.
that's totally fine. So you just say it was good, move on.
Yeah. And it's okay if someone else said that, I'd be like, cool.
What a life.
You know what I mean?
I envy that.
It is nice. I will say, working from home, man, it has been over 2 years of working
That's
from home.
crazy.
Do you remember at this point, a couple of months ago, we had to go to Tori's office. I forget what it was for.
I probably forgot my charger or something.
It was at nighttime. Yeah.
Yeah.
And you needed it. Yeah. And so we went there, and I remember I went into your office, and I was like, dude, I still think about this. Like, it was so weird being in an office where it was like, you were like, oh yeah, like this is my office. Like I
Right.
work here.
Yeah.
And I was like, oh my gosh.
Those are the bathrooms.
Yeah. I was like, wow, I used to do this too.
Yeah.
It was as if it was almost like another lifetime.
That's really weird.
It was very weird.
Yeah. Yeah, that was I remember that was really weird for you, but that's
It was, yeah. It was like surreal.
and you're like there were people like working in cubicles and stuff.
Yeah.
Yeah, that was
I was like, man.
it was weird to
this
be there
is
for
weird.
me at night, I think, too.
Yeah. Yeah, that makes sense. Anyway, I didn't mean to cut you off, but
That's totally okay.
yeah.
I just have to remember what I was going to say.
Was it in your notes?
Oh, talking about my weekend.
Oh, right. Yeah.
That's basically that. I just get stressed out talking about my weekend. All right.
Yeah. So far, it seems like a lot of it has to do with like social stuff, like we've been talking about.
It's all social stuff.
Yeah. Wow. Yeah.
All right. The next item that I think follows the scale that I talked about earlier,
Mm-hmm.
manicures. in my industry, I've noticed everyone has nice manicures and they get them done religiously every 2 weeks.
Wow.
And I learned this when I had very poor nail polish on. That was, like half chipped off or whatever. And I was like hiding my hands in my sleeves.
Did someone say something?
No, but they were thinking it for sure.
That I feel like only happens in an office where it's like vast majority women, which it is in your case.
It is in my case. Yeah, my industry, the title industry is 99% women.
Mm-hmm.
So then they all have, and okay, I should offer, like, this is pretty relevant, I guess. We share, the way the title industry works is that a title office is associated with a real estate brokerage. So the title office rents out space in that brokerage office. So, female real estate agents, maybe some men do this too, just get a nice basic manicure, whatever, but definitely women real estate agents, I'm sure they, having nice nails says a lot about you as a business person.
Mm-hmm.
And I totally get that. But it's also like the back office people who have really nice manicures, which really surprised me.
Mm-hmm.
Like
where you're at. You're in the back office.
So like I'm not buyer seller facing,
Mm-hmm.
So manicures are just, 15% of the conversation.
That's so interesting.
Revolves around getting your nails done.
Yeah.
And that stresses me out because, we're a young married couple. We're working to pay off debts.
Mm-hmm.
We don't really have the budget for me to get, which I don't really care about. I'm good with just having plain nails.
Mm-hmm.
I like that. Manicures themselves are stressful for me because I'm like, I spend so much money on this.
Mm-hmm.
I don't want to wreck them.
Right.
But we don't have, it's just not in our means as of right now to get a $35 manicure every 2 weeks,
Mm-hmm.
which is fine. But
that is a lot of money. Wow.
it adds up.
Yeah.
And that brings me to my next point.
All right.
Just moving along here. Okay, so they're all unorganized. Okay, so I said going to the bathroom, manicures.
Yeah.
What would be next? Talking about my weekend. I already said that. Okay, happy hour.
Oh my gosh, I remember this from when I worked in the office.
Yes,
People still try to do happy hour even remotely.
Really?
Yeah.
How's that possible?
Either they'll do it on, we have Microsoft Teams, so either do it on Microsoft Teams or Zoom or whatever people have.
They just want to stare at each other through a screen and drink?
Yeah. Oh, yeah.
That's the weirdest thing I've ever heard
that's a thing, for sure. Or they'll like say like, oh, hey, we should all meet up and go like in real human world, go somewhere. Yeah.
That's horrifying.
Yeah.
And
that's horrifying.
is that what I sounded like? Oh no.
I'd have to go back and listen to it, but I think it sounded something like that.
That is horrifying. Oh no. It's really hard to keep your breath on a podcast, and I think some weird accents pop out near this point.
For sure. Yeah.
That's okay.
And that's okay. Yeah. But yeah, I mean, so that's like a thing remotely as well.
That
But
blows my mind.
I feel like there's more pressure to have to go to a happy hour in person. Yeah.
And it's worse. It's worse for me. Just kidding. But I feel like a lot of pressure because part of my job is to interact with these real estate agents and develop like a relationship with them, so our working relationship is good. And so an happy hour is one of those things where it's, and I don't go. I've never gone to one.
Mm-hmm.
But not that it would be terrible if I did. They're after work. Like I'd rather go home to my husband, like, and see you. Like I don't want to hang out with my coworkers more and be in more socially awkward situations. I'm just not at that comfort level.
Yeah.
And so they're always like after work at like 5:30, and it's like, no, and then also I have to drive a long time. So
right.
even if I did have like a beer or something, I don't know. I just wouldn't feel like that's just none of it makes logical sense to me.
Mm-hmm.
So, happy hour, yeah, and like monetary, like in a monetary sense, like we don't have,
People blow money at happy hours.
they go so hard. I think such a huge office culture is drinking. You know how many bottles of wine I get from work? They all go to waste.
I know.
They all, and it's so generous of them to give me a bottle of wine for like good service, which is amazing. But it just shows how big drinking is in
100%. Because like to them, that's like a gift. It's like, wow.
That's what they would want.
That's an amazing gift. Yeah, right. Exactly. It's what they would want.
They're not going to get one from me.
Yeah. Mm.
I'll give them good service.
Unless they got you the only and best wine in the world. Not the only, but the best wine in the world. And that's Liberty Creek.
Yes.
Sweet Red.
Sweet Red.
Oh, man.
If you're 21 and over, I highly recommend it.
Oh, that's good wine.
If you're not 21 and over, just drink a Dr. Pepper. And imagine it's alcoholic, and I think you'll get the same effect. That was terrible advice.
I know. It's nothing like that.
It's nothing like that at all.
That's funny. But yeah, happy hours. Yeah.
Happy hours. Huge push on happy hours. Are you going to happy hour? Are you going to happy hour? No. Oh, but I can't say no because I'm too nice. So it's like, no, my husband is sick. Gots to get to him.
Yeah. Sounds like I'm sick a lot.
Yeah. Well, okay. So when you had that health scare,
Yeah.
when we the night we found out about it, and we'll talk about that later. I don't know, later or at a different podcast.
Sure. Yeah.
Because it's kind of a long story.
It's like a long, serious story.
Pretty serious. We don't want to bring down the vibe right now.
I mean, the good news is I'm fine now.
He's fine. Like, it's like,
So.
look at him. He's great.
I'm great.
Rosy cheeks.
Rosy cheeks.
Bright blue eyes. Look at that hair. You can't be unhealthy with that hair.
That's
So.
right.
He's gotten sassier.
Yeah.
So that night that we kind of found out about it, it was a happy hour night. And it was the first happy hour of the new office.
Really? Oh, so it's a big deal.
So it was a big deal.
Shoot.
I know. So it was like everyone was going.
Were you gonna go?
No.
Oh, so you weren't even gonna. Okay, gotcha.
But you were very convenient to me at that time. Yeah. I was like, oh yeah, I have to get home, and I explained why, and they were like, oh my gosh, yes, whatever. And I couldn't just say. I had to say specifically what it was in the world of COVID. Because I couldn't just say, oh, you're sick. Because then it's like, you have the COVID.
Yeah.
Don't come back for 2 weeks. Whatever. All the questions start coming in.
Right, of course.
So I always feel the pressure to like say specifically what's going on, which I don't normally like to do I don't think a lot of people like to do that to their coworkers. But
especially when it was like something like that was serious. Yeah.
Yeah, it was really
weird.
serious. So we're just dancing around it, and I know the people who don't know are just dying to know, but they have to wait. This will keep them listening.
Right, of course.
Yeah.
Oh, I know.
This is the
about
hook.
About what
Yeah.
I think most people who listen will know, but yeah, I know what you mean. Yeah. For those who
in the future, when we have millions of listeners,
right, of course, yeah,
they'll listen to this first episode and be like, "Wow, they suck for dancing around this," but.
We'll talk about it next time. We'll talk about it next week.
All right, fine.
Yeah.
So yeah, I used you as an excuse, and I would have been fine to just say no, but it felt better to
for sure
say your thing.
No, yeah, no, it makes sense.
Yeah. So happy hour. Not a fan. It's just none of it makes sense to me.
Yeah, and you're also not like a drinker. You know what I mean? So it's like it's not gonna be fun.
No, it's not going to be enjoyable to me because they're going to get drunk.
Right, of course.
Which was kind of weird to me.
Well, they're going to get drunk like together. So there's like
That's
a certain.
so weird to me.
I know.
And they're all like 20 to 30 years older than me.
That's really weird.
And it's just I don't know. There's just like a lot of things that could go wrong.
The issue with that, well, there's a lot of issues with that. But one of the issues with that is that that's where a lot of the sort of like office camaraderie is
Yes.
created and made. You know what I mean?
1,000%.
It's at those happy hours and those late night things where everybody's getting drunk and they're being drunk together. You know what I mean?
I share an office with someone who does my job,
Yeah.
but she is 20 to 30 years older than me.
Mm-hmm.
And that's how she develops the relationship with her agents
Right.
is, the drinking at a bar.
Mm-hmm.
I once heard her go, there was like a happy hour happening, whatever, after work some night. And she was like, oh yeah, I told my husband that I needed to go to Sam's Club, but I'm really going to go to the bar with these girls. And I was like, great.
Wow.
That sounds like a solid plan. It was terrible. I didn't know what to say.
Wow, that's really bad.
I know. So,
Like going to I feel like that's like way more things can happen at a bar than just getting drunk. Do you know what I mean? Do you know what I'm trying to say?
like cat fights.
No, I'm saying like what I'm trying to say is like she's saying she told him, "Oh, I'm going to Sam's Club," but she's going to a bar.
Yeah.
If he were to find out, "Oh, she went to a bar," I don't think his first thought would be, "Oh, she just went to hang out with her friends and get drunk."
Oh, like the assumptions could be different.
For sure.
Yeah.
Like who's she meeting at the bar?
Right. 1,000%. Yeah. Like that's such a weird thing to hide.
Yeah.
Like why couldn't
Like it's a
she
big
just
deal is
say-
what I'm trying to say.
That's a big deal. Like if
Yeah.
I lied to you about something like that,
I'd be like, "What?"
you would our trust would be questioned,
Yeah. Yeah.
which is totally understandable. And vice versa. If I found that out about you, I would be a little offended.
Right, of course.
And
yeah.
we need to have a chat about it.
Chit-chat.
Chit-chat.
Yeah. So, anyway,
Yeah.
but that makes sense. To me, like that makes a lot of sense. Yeah.
Stresses me out. Okay. I think this is the last thing
Of why you hate your job.
of things that stress me out at work.
That's a better way
I
of
can
saying
do
it.
my job, and I do it well, but
You
it's
do.
has its ups and downs. But the social stresses at work.
Right.
Organizing office events. Now, there's an
Wow.
episode of Seinfeld where Elaine is working at the catalog, and there's about 3 people in a day who have a birthday, who are retiring, who are sick, and there's a cake for all of them. And she is getting so stressed out about being forced to eat all this cake. And why do we have to celebrate every little thing?
Right.
And I'm feeling a very similar frustration.
Interesting.
There's always someone. I work in an office with 180 people in it. There's always someone having a baby, getting married. Unfortunately, there's sicknesses that are happening, and I feel for those people. I really do, but I can't afford to shell out $10 every time to a gift card of some sort. I guess that's not really organizing office events, but that comes into play later. There's a woman who is getting married this year, and they're organizing a bridal shower for her in our office.
Really?
Yeah. And this isn't going to be her only bridal shower. Her family is organizing one for her, you know.
Like the real one.
The real one. And it's a big deal. Like, we found out about this, and I'm like, great. Cool. Like, she's getting married. That's awesome. And immediately my coworker's thought was, oh my gosh, we have to, like, do something. Like, that's what she lives for, is, like, and I guess that is nice in a way.
Yeah.
But the way she talks about it just stresses me out. It's like, oh, I have to talk to this person about, what are we going to do? What are we going to do? Like, if that's how she talks. Like, what should we do? What should we do? What should we do?
Right.
And that's not really how she talks, but that's the feeling it gives you.
Yeah.
And so they're having a bridal shower, and they're masking. It's a surprise bridal shower, and they're masking it under Cinco de Mayo. So, like,
Gotcha.
we're having a Cinco de Mayo party, but really it's a bridal shower. Woohoo. And I have to make something for this event now.
Really?
Yes.
Wow.
I have to,
Is this event during the workday?
yeah. So I guess
Yeah,
I'm still
wow.
getting paid for it,
But like,
which is fine.
especially during that time, it's gonna
But
be.
that means it's going to be really busy for us during that time.
Yeah.
And that means I'll have to like work ahead so that I don't have a lot of work that day.
Yeah.
Because from 12 to 4, I'll be at this work. I don't like going to regular bridal showers. I didn't like being
For
at my
real.
own. That's nothing personal to anyone out there. It's stressful.
Yeah. Yeah.
It was very nice, but it's stressful.
Mm-hmm.
I don't want to go to someone else's from work. You just heard me talk about my coworkers. I don't want to be around them.
Yeah.
It's
Not more than you need to be, right? Yeah.
exactly.
Yeah.
Exactly. With work stuff, it's fine. I'm there.
Mm-hmm.
I answer all the questions. Personal stuff, I don't really care.
Yeah. No, that makes sense.
Yeah.
I feel like having those kind of things happen at work. I always felt this way. I'm sure you feel this way too. It really kind of blurs the line between work and home. You know what I mean? At least in my
And
experience.
I think that's what they want.
I agree.
I want very clear boundaries,
Yes.
and they're trying to push me into blurring them.
Mm-hmm. Yeah. It's a
Psychopaths.
Yeah. I remember when I worked in the office, I always felt like this really weird push to try to stay in the office longer.
It's weird.
Whether it was, and well, if you have to work and you have to get something done, whatever, that's fine. But like, for like this kind of stuff,
Right.
and you're like this, like why
Trying to push people to like bond and
yeah
socialize with each other
Mhm.
more than about work or whatever.
yeah I feel like it pushes that sort of I don't know how to word this, but like it pushes the mindset of like work is your life kind of thing. You know what I
Yes.
mean?
Yeah.
Because the mindset is like, if we can make work your life, then we have to find a way to like try to make it more fun also. So
Mhm.
like, or maybe the better way of saying it is like, okay, let's try to make work more fun since we're trying to make it your life. Do you know
Exactly.
that's what I'm trying to say? Yeah.
Yeah. Yeah. I feel like in my experience, I'm feeling this pressure to, I don't know, like, this is my first out of college job. So I didn't really know what to expect
Yeah.
in this kind of arena.
No one does.
No one, I guess that's true. No one
That's
does.
something we could talk about later too, but
yeah.
it's
that's
ridiculous.
podcast topic.
Yeah. Yeah. Yeah.
And like literally. So I didn't know what to expect. And I really didn't expect that every time I get an email about like, oh, this person had a baby, yay. I didn't expect a follow-up email that would say, hey, I'm collecting money for a gift card for this person who had a baby. And that's what I got today. And I'm not giving them money. I'm sorry.
No.
I just don't feel that obligation. My coworker does. I said, hey, are you getting money towards this? And she's like, oh, yeah. And I'm like, great. Delete. I'm not. Like, I didn't say that because I'm
Yeah.
ashamed also.
Right,
It's a
right,
really
yeah.
weird feeling. I'm not caring, but also caring a lot.
Yeah.
Yeah, I just don't like to, I just don't want to involve myself that way.
Right.
And there's some things I contributed to, like for Christmas time, we all chipped in on something for the manager, and that was great. Oh my gosh. But around Christmas time was really stressful with this because my coworker, I think you're sensing a theme here.
Mm-hmm.
She really pushes on stuff like this, and she talks to you in a way that doesn't make it comfortable for you to back out of it.
Mm-hmm.
She talks to you in a way where it's expected to participate. And like around Christmas time, she's like, oh, so I think for this, our boss, we should, another boss, we should, I got her as like a sweatshirt and stuff. And I think it'd be, and I usually get her a bottle of wine, but maybe that's something that you can do. You can get her like just like a nice bottle of wine. And I just found myself saying yes.
Mm-hmm.
Like, oh yeah, I can do that. Like, it's really weird. It's like psychological.
Yeah. Yeah.
And then
No, that's
I
weird.
had to go buy wine, and
Ugh.
I don't know. I guess that was fine. But we were also doing like a gift exchange as a department. So she was going to get a gift anyway. This is confusing. I don't know. But
it's just so unfair to put that expectation on another coworker. You know what I mean?
yeah.
It is so difficult for me to imagine talking to another coworker and being like, oh, yeah, you can do that. You can get this person this gift. You can go out of your way and spend the money to go do this.
That's how she
the
does
thing that
all
I
her
would do.
conversation.
That's like, it's messed up.
Yeah. Obviously, like, her love language is gift giving.
Yeah.
Is that a love language? I know one is receiving gifts, but if there was one for gift giving,
that's hers. Yeah.
maybe that is her love language, and that's also how she shows
I think that's what you
her
mean.
love. I think that's what I mean.
Yeah.
So that's how it's projected. And
Mhm.
what are you gonna do for these people in the office? Should we do like I don't know. It's just weird, and I didn't get them anything because I'm a young married person working to get out of debt.
Yeah. No, because they're your coworker.
And also they're my coworker. Yeah.
Yeah. No, it's
they didn't
ridiculous.
get me anything. I feel nothing. I feel no offense.
Yeah.
That doesn't affect how I work with them. Right. It's totally fine not to get your coworkers anything.
Yeah, totally. It's working remote, that still happens, but again, it's not nearly as much pressure because you're not in person.
It does?
Well, yeah, like through emails and stuff. You know what I mean?
Like
similar to what you had.
Like we're collecting for a gift card.
Yeah, exactly. One of them, oh my gosh, it was just this past like New Year's, because this girl got married like January 2nd or 3rd or whatever, and she has a lot of friends in the department.
Oh, okay.
And they reached out to all of us via email, and they were like, "Hey, we're collecting money for this girl who's getting married as like a wedding gift."
Blows my mind.
And like all of them were like invited to the wedding. You know what I mean?
That's totally
fine. I'm like, I'm not.
Yeah. I'm not.
I don't even know who that is.
Oh gosh,
not
that's
really.
Bad. Yeah.
I know her name and I've like seen her before, but like you know what I mean? Like I don't think I've ever talked to her.
You don't work with her.
No.
Even if you did, like, you shouldn't feel obligated to give anything.
Yeah. But even I guess that, like, whatever. I guess it's easier for me to just be like, no, that's okay. But I guess the fact that they even asked about that in general.
That's pretty weird.
I'm like, why? It'd be like when we got married, if like, I work with somebody who's a good friend of mine. It'd be like if he reached out to the rest of our coworkers and was like, hey, like, I'm collecting money for Josh because he's getting married.
Right.
That's very weird.
I wouldn't feel comfortable with that.
No, yeah.
I'm like, why'd you guys do that?
Yeah.
Thank you. This is going towards a lot of stuff.
Right,
but,
of course, yeah.
Why that's
Oh, we'll use it. Yeah.
Yeah, 1000%. But that is uncomfortable. I think this is controversial and a hot take. There needs to be more men in the office to kind of balance the
Don't say that too loud.
To balance the generosity, I'll call it, in the office.
That's funny.
Yeah, I just think if there were a couple more men, they'd be able to shut things like that down, and I could hide behind them.
Yeah, that's interesting. And you could hide behind that.
I'm like, that's terrible, Mike.
Oh, man, men stink.
We go. I mean, I think you're making some sense. I just need someone else to like initiate that. Maybe it doesn't have to be a man. Maybe it could just be a woman, another woman. But I think we're all too afraid of each other to say something like that.
I feel that.
Hot take.
Yeah.
I'm sorry if I came off sexist.
I mean, I didn't think you were coming off sexist.
I really feel this way.
I know. No, I know.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I think
that is interesting now that I think about it. A lot of these things are generated by women. Yeah.
I'll just say this. I've never received an email from a man collecting money for a gift card.
Right. I don't think I have either.
Didn't you used to work with a lot of women too who would put that like type of social pressure on you?
Yeah, I did. Like back when I worked in the office.
And then you switched like, I don't know, something structurally shifted, and you were doing the same job but working with a new group of people, and that pressure no longer existed.
Interesting.
Is that what you said to me?
Oh yeah. It was switched though. I didn't used to work with a lot of women,
Oh, okay.
and now we switched departments.
Mm-hmm.
Like I'm still doing the same job, but like it's difficult to explain. But like my department was under this umbrella of like this larger group,
Yeah.
and it moved to like a different group,
Gotcha.
and that group has way more women. Yeah.
And obviously, women are great to work with.
Oh my gosh, yeah.
Efficient.
Yeah.
Nice.
Of course, yeah.
Hardworking.
There are so many different strengths that women have that.
1,000. Well, that's not.
have.
Yeah, 1,000%.
Yeah.
But they
This is one of the
downfalls.
Yeah.
Sorry. not
No.
really a downfall.
No, putting that social pressure.
That
on
pressure
you.
just kind of comes
Yeah.
with it, and it's
Yeah.
just it sucks.
Yeah.
And if you have the means, great. But if you have the means and you don't want to do it, even better.
Mm-hmm.
So that made no sense. That's okay.
Yeah. And some people, obviously the people who are trying to generate this stuff, like they want to do it, which is fun. Like they want to do those things. You know what I mean? And that's great. And there
really
are other
hope
people
that it is a genuine intention and not just like
Oh, I always assumed it was. I guess maybe it's not.
maybe they're feeling the pressure too.
Wow.
Maybe this goes all the way to the top.
What does that mean?
All the way to the top.
Gotcha. Okay. Oh. That's funny. Yeah. Right to the top.
Right to the top. And today we've talked about a lot of things that stress me out from work, but I kind of want to wrap up this podcast with a nice, lighthearted story for you lovely people out there. And I've told this story to Josh before, but I think it won't lose its hilarity. Does that make sense?
Yeah, for sure. Oh, yeah.
That's the sentence I've never said before. I think it will. Whatever. It's hilarious, and I think you'll still laugh as hard.
Yeah, definitely.
So I'm sitting in my office, and I hear someone in the next office over say, "Oh my gosh, so and so, not me, so and so, your car's getting stolen." And I like look over like, "Oh my gosh, whose car is getting stolen?" And she meant it as a joke, like no one's car was getting stolen,
right.
But she didn't convey that well in her tone. Her office faces the parking lot, so she saw some woman, an agent from our office. She saw this woman trying to get into this other person from our office's car. And the reason why is they have the same car, but her real car, the perpetrator's car, was parked. Is that too strong of a word?
The thief's car.
There we go. The thief's car, not perpetrator. The thief's car was about 3 cars down in the same row. It was not like, she was, in the right section.
Sure, yeah.
So we see this person. Let's call the thief Rose.
Okay.
And
Rose was not actually a thief, but yeah,
she's a thief. No, I'm just kidding. Rose is trying to get into what she thinks is her car, but is actually this other person's car, who we'll call Anna.
Okay.
Rose is trying to get into Anna's car, and we're all watching from the window, not helping in any way. So she has all her stuff like on the hood of the car, like around. She's like pulling on the car handle. I think this type of car comes with an app that I don't know what you would use it for, but she was using it for something. She was trying to she was on her keys, like trying to lock it or like unlock it, and it's beeping 2 cars down. Yeah. And the lights are going off and whatever. And it's making noise, and she hears the noise because she's like looking up and looking around, like, what's that sound coming from? But it's just not registering that it's so close.
I've heard this story several times, and I'm still here just wide mouthed. I just can't believe it. Yeah.
Like, you don't think maybe you have the wrong car. And not only that, like, this Anna's car was just cleaned. So it looks completely different from her car, which looked really dirty. Or was a different color, but I'm just going to assume it was really dirty. So it wasn't, and it was like different plates. Like Anna's car has a PA plate. Rose's car has New York plates.
Gotcha.
Like everything's different.
Mm-hmm.
And I feel like I think she's like looking inside the car. Like,
Is the color of the car is the same, right?
I think so.
Yeah.
But Rose's was a lot dirtier.
Gotcha. Okay.
If they were the same color.
Gotcha.
So that should have been first clue. Like, wow, my car's really clean. Oh, wait, this isn't my car.
Mm-hmm.
Like, and also she's looking inside of it. This goes on for too long. Like,
how long?
I don't want to over exaggerate, but I want to say 7 minutes.
No, wait, that's you not exaggerating?
I wanted to say 10 minutes, but I think 10 minutes is too long. I think that's an over exaggeration. I think it really was 7 minutes. We're all looking at this person struggling, and it gets to the point where it was funny. Now it's really sad. Like, this person doesn't like, is genuinely confused, all turned around. It's bad. So eventually,
that is remarkable.
I know, it's like I like pity her.
Oh my gosh.
I know. So
something really like horrible must have happened that day or something.
Maybe she just got like emotionally knocked off her feet and just couldn't think straight after that. So eventually what had to happen,
that's a long time.
I know.
That's 7 minutes.
It's way too long.
I feel like anytime, and I feel like this happened to everybody. You go up to like the wrong car and you're like, oh, whoops.
Right.
You know what I mean?
Yeah, we've all made that mistake, right?
For
Where
sure.
we thought another person's car was our car. It lasts half a second, and then you're like, oh my gosh, this is my car, and you scurry away to your own car.
Exactly.
And no, she had every sign pointing to her that this was not her car.
Yeah. 3 seconds turned into 30 seconds, turned into 300 seconds.
Yeah. 7 minutes, 300 seconds.
No, 300 seconds is 5 minutes.
Oh.
So it'd be 420 seconds, yeah.
Hey.
Yeah. 420 seconds.
That's too long.
That's a lot of seconds.
That is almost 421 seconds.
That's about 210 times the amount of seconds that it would take pretty much any normal person to figure out.
I know. Eventually what had to happen is the person who discovered this situation, let's call her Elena,
okay,
had to walk outside and say, Rose, that's not your car. Your car's over here. And point her to the car.
Yeah.
That's what had to happen. That's how the situation got resolved.
And it wasn't even like she figured it out on her own.
No. What, she didn't even leave the section. Like, she just was, like, normally when you're confused like that, you at least attempt to, like, figure out what's going on, make sure you're not crazy.
Mm-hmm.
Like, I'm pretty sure I parked here, but maybe I parked somewhere else. Like, I don't know. Like, she didn't even leave the, like, hall, like, the section, like, the side of the car. She just stayed there. And then, which that blows my mind. Like, when something's not working like that, I feel like, I hope I would, walk around the parking lot, try to figure out what's going on, maybe get a wider perspective on the whole parking lot. No. She had to be guided to her car.
That is, I don't have any words.
There are no words. That's why we're ending with this story. There's nothing more to say.
It really isn't.
This is for you to chew on for the next couple of days.
Wait, I have a story. Similar like
similar confusion.
Thing. Watching somebody be absent-minded.
It's
yeah.
It's hard.
Yeah.
What happened?
We can finish up with this, unless you have another one you want to say. But
that's it.
Okay. I mean, I still can't believe that. I feel like I've heard that story A few times now because you told me right when you got home, and then like you've told other people.
Yeah, and it comes up. It just comes up.
I mean,
it lives in our minds rent free.
It really does.
Yeah,
I just can't believe that.
Yeah,
it's unbelievable to think that happened.
I know. It's kind of scary. Like, am I gonna get to that point? Will someone pity me in a parking lot?
Right. Yeah.
Well, I haven't on. I kind of feel bad that we're watching her. Like, I didn't feel very loving at that point, but it was just like a train wreck you couldn't look away from.
Right.
So I feel like we've all been there. That's fine.
How old is this woman?
I don't want to say. I feel like it's.
With that, wait, what do you mean?
Lumping them all into a category. Not them, but okay. She was I don't really know exactly, but she was middle-aged.
Okay. I feel that's pretty broad.
Yeah.
But I understand what you mean.
Maybe like late 50s.
Gotcha. Gotcha. No, I'm just kidding.
No, that's not what I wanted.
No, I'm just kidding. Actually, coincidentally, my story has to do with a middle-aged woman as well.
I'm sorry to all middle-aged women out there.
I feel like we're really crapping on women
on this
episode.
We really are, and it's really just my coworkers.
Yeah.
And this other person you're about to talk about.
That's true.
It's really just my coworkers.
Yeah, I feel like
and it's only like a couple of my coworkers.
Right. Yeah. Yeah, I was gonna say I feel like
really just the one.
We've all had horrible experiences with men as well.
Oh my gosh!
You know what I mean?
Of course.
Yeah.
And the only reason I don't have more stories about them is because I don't work with them.
Right. Yeah. Of course.
And that's just the fact. We love women. We love who God calls us to love.
Right. Yeah.
You made me doubt myself there for a second.
I was like, what does that mean? But no, I got you. Yeah.
You get it. That's fine.
Anyway, I'll be quick. We'll end with this.
Okay.
The other day, I was at Acme. It's right down here where it's right over here, right? Very close. And I don't even remember what I had to get. I had to get
probably like tortillas or something.
It was
That's just a revolving
or milk or something like that. Yeah. It was something like that. And so I go and get it, and I go to the self-checkout line. And I'm sitting there waiting because all of the registers in the self-checkout line are occupied.
Right.
And as I'm sitting there waiting, I'm next in line. I look, and there's a middle-aged woman at one of the self-checkout registers. She pulls an onion out of her.
A singular onion.
Yeah, single onion out of her basket. Pulls it out, goes up to the scanner.
Mm-hmm. Oh no! She starts Josh. If you can't see, if you're listening,
she's twisting
Josh
it,
is
trying
doing a rotating motion with his hand.
I forgot. I forgot that we're
we're an audio medium.
Yeah.
Is that the right word? Not everyone's going to be watching
about
this
the video,
I
right?
know.
Of course. No, yeah, no. She pulls the onion out and she starts trying to scan it on the thing.
On all sides.
Yeah, for YouTube, if you guys are watching this, she's rotating it like this.
Yeah.
Using both hands, trying to rotate it to scan it. Then she looks at it.
Mm. Where's the barcode? Is what she's thinking.
Right, exactly.
Yeah. Where is it?
Finds it, or so she thinks.
Finds the sticker.
That says
with
the number
onion 0001.
Exactly. Yeah. And tries to scan that.
There it is. I was missing it.
Yeah.
Let's try again.
Yeah. After about, I think altogether it was like, I don't want to exaggerate it either. I think it was like 8 seconds altogether, which sounds like a short amount of time.
Yeah.
But when you're sitting there watching,
should we be quiet for 8 seconds to show them how long it is? I don't think that's necessary.
No, that's a good idea.
Oh my gosh.
All right, ready?
No.
1, 2, 3. All right, that was 8 seconds.
That's a long time.
That's
was
a long
uncomfy.
Time. Yeah.
I felt unsafe.
Yes. No, it's like weird.
Yeah.
You're like watching it, you're like, wow.
Yeah.
8 seconds is a long time. That's what I'm trying to say.
Yeah.
When you're trying to scan an onion.
An onion that
at
does
the
not have a
self-checkout.
barcode.
No, it doesn't.
What ended up happening for her?
I think she gave up and thought, oh, I should just enter it in. You know how you can like enter in stuff
Well, that's the only way to do it.
with a produce like that.
produce.
Yeah.
But as you said, like, I think she only thought that. I think she only did that because she thought the scanner wasn't working.
I mean, that's possible. I don't. Now that I'm thinking about it, though, I think it might have actually she realized. Oh, I'm supposed to enter this in.
Maybe she just had a momentary brain fart.
Yeah. Clearly. Yeah.
I've had those.
Yeah.
And they're...
We tried to scan an onion.
No, that's
We've
idiotic.
We've all had, try to
had-
scan onion at the self-checkout moments,
We've all tried to scan an onion,
Yeah.
if you know what I mean.
I'll say this, though. We haven't all had sit at a car for 7 minutes trying to get into it when it's not yours moment.
Pulling on the trying to rip off the door to get in.
No, we haven't all had those moments.
No, I hope that never comes.
Only a handful
I
of
hope the
people have had
Lord
those
comes
moments.
before that moment comes. Deliver me from that, Father.
I promise we're not mean people. It's just, yeah.
We're just venting.
We're just venting. What are we trying to get out of this podcast? We're just trying to vent.
We're
That's
just
all we're trying to do.
vent.
Yeah.
We're sick of hearing from each other. Just kidding. That's never gonna happen.
No, that's not
I love
true.
hearing your stories.
Yeah. That's why, in fact, we just wanted to hear more of each other.
Yeah, that's really it.
That's what this is.
Yeah.
We had to get headphones so we can listen to each other
Yeah.
more,
Yeah.
That's
I
what
want
it
to hear
is.
your voice louder in my head.
Right.
That's what this
Exactly.
is.
Exactly. Yeah. Anyway, this was fun.
This was so much fun. If you're listening and watching, thank you so much. We really appreciate it. I don't know how podcasts work. I don't know if there's a follow button or a subscribe button.
Yeah.
Whatever the button is that notifies you of another episode coming out of podcasts, click it. And it sounded really threatening. Kindly click it. That's some corporate talk for you.
Yeah.
Kindly click this button.
Yeah.
We would really appreciate it.
We would, yeah.
And if you're watching on the YouTube Bear Attack channel, which we need to create promptly after we finish this episode.
Well, I feel like we could do that, or we could just do it to your Bare Necessities one.
No, that's mine.
That's a separate one.
That's separate.
Gotcha.
Yeah.
All right, so we're going to have our own YouTube channel. There we go.
Yeah. And leave a comment. What did you like? What would you like to hear from next?
Yeah.
Give it a like. And we'll see you next week.
Yeah, we'll see you all next week.
Bye.
Bye.